Hi, I'm Plami, and in this episode of Radio K, I'm gonna be starting my reaction to newest recently released album, Romanticize. I promised that I was going to do a reaction to this at least a week after I did the reaction to the music video, and it's been a little bit longer than a week, but at the time I didn't know that this album was like a full length album with like tons of songs, so it ended up taking me a little bit longer to get to doing this. But I'm finally doing this, and it's the first time in a while, in like a year, and more than a year even, since I've actually reacted to newest B-sides. So I'm excited to see how I'm going to feel about those songs and whether I'm gonna love them or not, because I honestly don't really remember that much of the songs that I actually reacted to on my channel in like the first 100 and maybe 200 episodes at this point. I've done so many songs that I just don't remember them, but I am pretty excited to check these songs out, but I'm not necessarily too hopeful that I'm gonna love them, because I like newest music, but I mean, it didn't really leave too much of an impact, because I haven't really listened to many of the songs that I reacted to. Even if I've enjoyed them, they didn't leave too much of an impact, so I don't know, I guess we're gonna find out. And yeah, because there's quite a few songs in this album, 9 songs to be specific, I'm gonna be splitting it up in 3 videos, so definitely make sure to check out part 2 and part 3 as well. In this one, as you can see in the title, we're gonna be checking out the first 3 songs of the album, excluding the title track since I've already reacted to that. Those songs being Dress, Don't Wanna Go, and Black. So I guess without further ado, let's just straight up jump into it, starting off with Dress in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I honestly don't really have any expectations for what this is going to be. I'm hoping that at least for the reaction, I'm not gonna be bored by it. Even if I never end up listening to these songs, at least for the reaction it should be fun. So far, this first song is actually pretty decent. Okay, I'm starting to remember exactly how I felt about their music. It's definitely pretty catchy. But again, I feel like it doesn't necessarily leave too much of an impact, which for the longevity of the songs is a bad thing. Because it ends up being that in the moment I'm enjoying the song, but I'm probably not listening to it. Because honestly, genuinely, it's catchy. I'm enjoying it. It's much catchier than I was expecting it to be. Also, I like the retro vibe the chorus has. The beginning, I feel like it's a little weak, but it definitely grows into being better. Also, I gotta say, even though I don't think the members have really changed their looks that much, I honestly cannot recognize them from back when I was reacting to them. So I'm sorry for mistaking some of the members for other members when I did the reaction to the title track. Thank you for pointing it out. Okay, I don't understand why the song is still going here. It's just a very boring instrumental here. Okay, so I would say this is actually a pretty decent opening. It has its catchy moments. Doesn't really have anything bad with it. There wasn't a moment that where it stood out that it was bad in any way. But the thing that I feel like is my problem with newest music, it's not necessarily that it's bad or anything, but it's more about my specific tastes and how I experience music in general. Because with the amount of K-pop songs that I'm reacting to ever since I started my YouTube channel, the amount of K-pop songs I listen to since I started my YouTube channel, I just don't really have the time to go through every single song ever. Like, even if there is a song, like in this case, this song, Dress, that is actually pretty catchy and enjoyable, the fact that it doesn't really stand out that much and it's not really unique in any way, shape or form, kind of prevents me from listening to it, because I don't really feel like I gain anything from listening to it. It's perfectly good song, perfectly satisfying, and I think most people are gonna be okay with it, but for me personally, it's not unique enough to warrant and justify me listening to it on my own. But again, for this reaction, it was perfectly enjoyable. Although, again, I feel like with most of their music, I'm being reminded of how I felt when I was reacting to their music. The instrumentals are not particularly interesting, I would say. That's at least my memory. Maybe we're gonna have something more interesting in this album, but I very much doubt it. But they definitely complement and surpass that issue of not really interesting instrumentals with their really good vocals. So there's that as well. And yeah, in terms of the rating for this song, I think it's a solid beginning. I could honestly give it as high of a score as a 9 out of 10 because it's a fine song and I liked the retro vibe that it had in it a little bit. But since it's the first song of the album and I'm not sure where the album is going to go, I don't really feel like giving it that high of a score right off the bat. So I think I'm gonna go with an 8.2 out of 10, which is still a pretty high score, but I feel like it's a more reasonable score for the first song of the album. Maybe it will change how I feel about it after I've listened to more of the album, but this is how I feel about it right now, so that's what I'm gonna go with. So yeah, let's continue the reaction with the next song, Don't Wanna Go, in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, I'm liking the beginning here with the guitar. Every time a K-pop song includes a guitar, I'm instantly in love with it. It's won me over right off the bat with the guitar. Ooh, that's good. I like how the way this is sounding. Okay, this is genuinely much better than I was expecting this album to be. I guess I've genuinely forgotten how good their music used to be. I mean, it's been more than a year since I've reacted to their B-sides, so you can't really blame me. This is definitely a really good song. I love how for most of the song it's calm and then it kind of ramps up in the chorus. I think that's what you call a power ballad. But I don't really feel like this one is necessarily a ballad. It just feels like it's a slow and soulful kind of song. And I like it. I like it. I definitely would be in love with it if I could understand what they were singing, but can't really do anything about that. The best I can do is just read the lyrics right now. Oh my god, Minhyun's vocals. You know, I think I've said this when I was reacting to them in 2019, but they look like members of so many different groups that right now I can't really tell which member they look like, but they feel reminiscent of other groups, and I kind of like that. Like, Minhyun especially looks like some other idol. And his vocal as well reminds me of somebody, but I can't really remember who it was. Right now, with this picture for this song that they used for Ren, he looks like a member of ATEEZ. Okay, honestly, I would love to listen to this song actually a second time because I think it was a genuinely enjoyable song and I feel like I could gain a little bit more from reacting to it a second time, but I have quite a few K-pop reactions to record, about 8 videos or 20 something songs, so I don't really have the time to do that, so I'm just gonna get into my opinion for this song. It's very enjoyable. I think it's a little bit more, well, actually much more interesting and stand out compared to Dress, which, as I said, the instrumental was very generic and uninteresting to me. It wasn't necessarily bad, but it's just, as I explained, if the song isn't in any way stand out, I'm just probably not gonna listen to it, even though it's probably not a bad song. But in the case of this song, it's pretty good. The instrumental of using the acoustic guitar gives the song a more unique vibe because that's such a rare thing to get in K-pop, honestly, and especially throughout most of the song, because most of the time it's just used for like a verse or just a little portion of the song. So I'm glad that we got pretty much whole song with it. It was very enjoyable. Definitely made me like the song much more than I would have otherwise liked. In terms of the rating, I honestly am going to give this one a 9 out of 10. I think it was a great song, and I think almost everybody, pretty much everybody, is going to enjoy this song. And I think most people will agree with me that it's a better song than Dress. Not that Dress is a bad song, but it's just more interesting and more standout, and just has more things going for it that are interesting than Dress, you know? But yeah, so I guess let's get into the last song of this first part of this reaction, Black. And let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're just straight up jumping into it. That's throwing me off for a loop, but it's fine. Oh, I liked where that went for a second there. I think it would have gone in a really cool direction, but it didn't. I like that first sentence of the chorus. The way it flows, it makes you think that it's going to go in a much more different direction that I honestly think would have been a better chorus. But it's still fine. Oh, I like where that Yeah, it makes me think that it's going to go in a more like a sexy direction. I think that would have been better for this song, because for some reason I'm not really vibing with it. It's not bad or anything, but it's not really hooking me in any way. It kind of feels like it's just there, and I'm trying to focus on it and really try to get into it and enjoy it, but it's not really working for me. I don't know. I think it's just the song started off bad already in a weird way, so it's kind of thrown me off completely. I feel like they maybe couldn't quite commit to a direction for this song, because that lacha 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 thing that they do in the chorus is actually kind of interesting, and I actually kind of like it. I wish that maybe they committed to a more rougher song that is more hard-hitting. I think could have worked better. Either that or maybe commit to a more sexy song. I feel like they kind of tried to do too much. They went in too many different directions with this song, so it kind of feels like all over the place, but not really in a good way. I still don't think it's a bad song or anything, but I just don't really vibe with it at all. It just doesn't really work for me. So yeah, I think they still showed off their great vocals, and JR showed his great rapping, which I had forgotten how good of a rapper he is actually. But the song itself just really didn't feel as complete and just didn't really work, in my opinion, that well. Again, if you disagree, that's completely fine. My opinion is not the end of it all. It's not a fact. You're free to have different opinions, but that's just how I feel about it. So in terms of the rating for this one, I'm honestly going to give it a 7.7 out of 10, because I still think most people are gonna be enjoying it just fine. And maybe if I had the time to listen to it a second time or a second time, I probably would have maybe understood it a little bit better. But right now, I just don't have the time. So we're gonna be done. We're gonna be going with only one reaction. And again, I'm not saying it's a bad song. I just don't think it really worked for me. It didn't really hook me. But again, there were some things that I liked about it, like the first half of the chorus and that lacha lacha part. I think those were actually pretty catchy, but I just wish they committed more to that direction for the song. But yeah, so far the album is actually pretty okay. I'm kind of interested to see what the solos are going to be of the album, because every single member is getting a solo in this album. Because I haven't heard solos from them, I think, before. Maybe I have, but it's been a long time. Give me a break. So I'm pretty excited to see how those are going to sound like. But those are going to be in the second and third part of this reaction. So definitely make sure to check those videos out. And also check out my recent reactions to BAE 173's 2 album, their debut one, Intersection Spark, and their comeback one, Intersection #Trace, I think it was, or Intersection, it was just Intersection Trace. And I also did a reaction to Stray Kids in Life album, so make sure to check those videos out as well. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the links in the description to my Twitter if you don't follow me there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I am also a writer. And if you have enjoyed my stories, or you simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to Patreon where you can pledge support and help get the channel going and help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!